All right. Well, I'm just as excited about our next guest. Our first speaker actually is a master soul reader who teaches people how to truly love themselves using a 7-step method. She believes that the core problem with all of humanity is everyone is lacking the love from others that they truly need to truly thrive. Today, she'll be telling a story about how saying, "I love you, me," saved a girl who was diagnosed with only 3 weeks to live. I would love for everyone to please welcome Tara Love Perry.
Hello, beautiful Xane. Fabulous to see you again.
Yes,
and hello, beautiful viewers.
Yes, amazing. For one moment there, we had exactly 222 simultaneous viewers across all platforms. Now we have more than that. So it's wonderful. We've broken our record. So please,
Yay.
Tara, we'd love to hear everything that you have to say. So take it away.
Oh, thank you for bringing me here. And it's such a privilege to be on the Higher Self Expo, and particularly with this topic, the 0 point of judgment. And from my perspective and what I'm going to share with you today about how unconditional self-love saves lives and souls, that 0 point of judgment in my book is that unconditional love. And it's a reality, it's a place to exist within. So I am indeed going to share how saying "I love you, me" and a few other important things actually changed a girl's life. I'm really excited to share that story with you. And before I do, I really want to welcome you right now, you watching, your spirit, your body. I welcome you into this moment right now. I welcome you into your existence. And even though those are nice words and that might feel nice to you for me to say that to you, I also invite you, especially since I'm the first speaker today, to welcome you to the rest of this incredible expo. I invite you to welcome you. My words are all very well, Zane's words are all very well, but what you really need is something that is from within you, something that comes from your own heart, your own source. So I invite you, brothers and sisters who are watching right now, just close your eyes for just a second. Take a big sigh breath like that, just letting go of all the muscles in your face, in your jaw, in your throat. Letting go of everything you think you know already, becoming ready to receive. And simply for one moment, notice what it's like just to receive your breath and receive your life. And receive your spirit into your body right now. Can you feel that as you breathe in, you're inviting life, you're receiving life into this vessel, and it needs to meet and kiss into life every single aspect of you, every single living particle of you, for you to fully exist, for you to fully be here. Just drink that in, drink the words in, drink your own breath in. Maybe you want to get settled in your bottom, soft in your back, open and receptive to yourself and to what you need from this journey today. And bring your hands somewhere to meet yourself, somewhere to meet your heart, your tummy, your head, if you're too much in your head, anywhere where you feel like you need to be held right now and feel really safe, really met. Use this beautiful sense of touch. And I'm going to invite you to say some words out loud to yourself. And I invite you to use both your ears to listen and for your whole self to receive the words. unconditionally, right? Without the judgment. So let's try saying to yourself, hello me, out loud, so your ears can hear. And you can feel the vibration of your own words. Hello me. Breathe the words back in. And use whatever language feels good to you as well. Make it authentic, make it real. Notice the impact of these words. Hello me. You can speak them with your hands as well. And say to yourself out loud, thank you me for being here right now. Thank you me for being here right now. Receive the words. Breathe them in and receive and feel. And say to yourself, well done me for being here. Give yourself that beautiful recognition and validation. Well done me. Breathe the words in. For being here right now in this body. And say that out loud. Being here right now in this body. In this breath. In this life. In this moment. Right now. And breathe and feel. And let the words trickle in and soak into your matter, your emotions, your spirit. Like raindrops soaking into the soil, just open, receiving, noticing how it feels. And you can say to yourself, I love you, me. Actually, you might have got stuck there. Do I, don't I, do I, don't I? What does it mean? What doesn't it mean? Breathe, doesn't matter. Breathe it in. I love you, me. How unconditionally can you receive love from your own self? Notice how it feels. Do you get a lump in your throat? Do you have to swallow hard? Do you get a lump in your chest? Oh, you want to sit back, soften and surrender and allow whatever's happening and be absolutely with you 100%. Taking in what's happening. And then I invite you to wrap your arms around yourself really tight. Really squeeze yourself, give yourself a huge hug and say, welcome here, me. Welcome here, me. Some of you can feel you maybe need to just give your head a little stroke as your head's going, what is happening? Just give yourself a little head stroke. It might be bringing up lots of thoughts and beliefs, might be triggering. But just see if you can be with yourself 100% with whatever you're feeling, with your beautiful breath, and see if you can receive yourself a little bit more today. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing that. I really do love you. Right, so as Xane said, my name is Tara Love Perry, and I've had quite an incredible story, but I'm going to cut that long story short. And as Xane said, I'm a master soul reader, and I help people to love themselves unconditionally. And how that happened was I was born with this ability where I could see, hear, feel, taste, touch, sense energy, and particularly people's energy. So it's as if each and every single one of you is this enormous walking library of information That's stored energetically in your, let's say, your auric field, and it's stored in your mind, your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind, which is a vast area. It's stored in your emotions. It's stored in your water cells. It's stored in your DNA. It's stored in every single part of your matter. This entire story of your soul. And I'm able to read here and see that and engage and speak with it. So it's a little bit like I'm seeing time capsules of your memories of all kinds of different times. And the parts that stand out to me the most when I'm reading people are the parts that either are in real alignment and they're shining and they're bright and the colors are vivid and there's an intense harmony and bliss and joy and love and peace and all that beautiful stuff. And that's when a person is really living according to their destiny and really being who they are according to their divine blueprint, right? Everybody has a blueprint. We have the human conditioning blueprint that you get when you're born, and you get the blueprint of your soul. So I'm seeing that, and I'm also seeing every little bit of disharmony that is stopping you from being that. So as I'm learning this, I discover, like Xane said, that the fundamental underlying cause for absolutely everybody's disharmony, everybody's reason for not being their divine blueprint and living an incredible, divinely human life is because of this sense and this feeling of a disconnection from their source, from unconditional love. And in that disconnection, everybody's going out looking for that love from somebody else, trying to get our needs met from somebody else, trying to get our fundamental lifeline connection from somebody else, that unconditional love, which plugs us back into who we are, plugs us into divinity, plugs us into a much bigger picture beyond this little mind. So everybody's lost. Everybody's going around trying to get their needs met and trying to get the love from somebody else, and it's not working. So this is what I was seeing across the board. And as I saw it, I was asking, give me a method. How do I help people? And this, over time, this incredible, beautiful method came together, which is a very simple 7-step conversation. And it undoes all the conditioning and the trauma and everything that's ever causing that disharmony and allows you to come back into harmony. It's incredibly simple. So here I am. My life was a mess. I start practicing this. My life transforms and changes. I wrote a book about it. I taught programs about it. And this wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I really loved it back in the day when we could do live events. And I was in Brighton, in the south of England, southeast England. Amazing city. I lived there for many, many years. Love it very much. So hello, all my Brighton family. I miss you. I love you. And we were doing live events very regularly. And this was a wonderful weekend in March back in, I think it was 2018. And I was sharing what I'm sharing with you now. I was sharing the I Love You Me method. And I was taking a big room full of people through a 2-day process and teaching them how to walk and how to talk the 7 steps and to do their own self-love journey and self-love healing. And in the audience that day, there happened to be this very beautiful, very talented, golden young woman. In fact, she had golden hair, but she really didn't look golden, to be honest. She looked very sick and very drawn and pale and skinny. But still, she had a light about her. She really did. And her name is Abby. What I didn't know until after this event was that Abby had been ill with a 21-center tumor in her chest, a cancerous tumor that had been killing her over the previous 2 years to this day, me meeting her. And she'd had, was it 5 different types of chemo, 2 lots of radiotherapy. She'd had every treatment that normal medicine hospitals could throw at her. She'd been in the newspapers. She was rather famous because she's an incredible singer. And she was in the newspapers on her deathbed, literally dying with no hair, looking, not well at all, singing her little heart out about love because she had a message to share with the world. And the thing is that Abby was becoming famous. She was getting known as a singer, which is amazing. She's such a beautiful singer. But she was dying. And she was in this weird paradox of getting what she wanted, her music out there, her, you know, to be seen, I guess. And yet she was dying. And she'd done everything, and she'd got to this point where she just felt like nothing else was working. And she has this conviction. She'll tell you about it now if you ever get a chance to connect with her and speak to her yourself. She had this conviction that she was going to do something that would heal herself. Like she wanted to get that power for herself. So there she is. She's in my audience. She's going through the weekend like everyone else. She's crying. She's laughing. She's having her process, and she's undoing, and she's clearing, and she's healing throughout this weekend. And what was wonderful is that Abby met another young singer in the audience that weekend. And at the end of the event, they both came up on stage and they sang a song that they'd written in the lunch hour. And they called it I Love You Me. And, you know, everyone, we were like crying our eyes out. We were all swaying and hugging each other. It was like, oh my God, so beautiful. And then, and we didn't know she had cancer. Like, we did not know. What happened was afterwards, Abby had signed up for coming on my 4-day, it was a live training then, it's not now, 4-day training to learn a more advanced level of the I Love You Me method. So that, and this course is really for people who want to become a self-love coach and really, you know, master their own self-love, transform their own lives, and then go out and help other people to do the same thing. So Abby decided she would sign up on this course. So she came on board. 6 weeks later, I saw her. And I'd heard her story. She told me what had happened. And I was like, I'm so going to have you on this course. Of course I will. And she came on board. And she said after the weekend, she'd gone through this real purging process. But she still wasn't well, but she'd realized that she'd done a lot of purging and getting out all this yuck out of her body and out of her system, I guess from all the chemo as well. So she'd come along to the 4-day training. We had an unbelievable time. I mean, it was deep and it was profound and it was amazing. And actually, there was already one miracle that happened on this training alone, in that Abby had, through all the chemo and being so sick, she'd been told that she was infertile. She'd been told that the doctors couldn't find any of her eggs, as she wanted to freeze some of her eggs, so that if one day she did recover from the cancer, then her eggs would be frozen and safe, so that she could perhaps one day, you know, make a child. They couldn't find her eggs. They said she didn't have any, and they'd already moved one of her fallopian tubes. So she's literally got one ovary, no eggs, and that she's declared infertile by the doctors, and she's still alive after the 3-week deadline that they'd given her to live. So something's happening here. She comes along to this training and she gets her period for the first time in absolutely years, and she can't believe it. And it's just like, what is happening, right? That's insane. We have the 4-day training. I see Abby after this. How long was that? I think it was probably about another 6 weeks later. Abby had gone for her tests, and she'd come back from the tests, and she'd literally like called me the moment that she came out of the hospital, and she came to show me. And she said, Tara, the hospital has said that my tumor that was 21 centimeters long is now 8 centimeters long, and they can't find any trace of cancer. And we were like, I mean, I was like, yeah, of course. And even though I'd seen incredible results with I Love You Me, and I knew what the power of it was, I'd never seen anybody cure the cancer like this fast, or that big a cancer, let's say, that fast. Doing it as fast as Abby did. I'd never seen that happen before, although I have had previous clients who had healed from cancer. But this was just like, wow, this was a super wow story. And she said the hospital doesn't believe that these results are real, so they'd booked her for another test. So off she goes, she has another test. I think it was about a month later again, she came back. And this was actually a day before we had the next live event booked in Brighton again for the weekend. So Abby comes to me and she says, Tara, there's still no cancer. The hospital can't believe it. And the tumor has shrunk to 7 centimeters. Unreal. right? Amazing. I know everyone can give Abby a big clap. Abby Flynn, she's just amazing. So of course she was really excited, but she was also really scared because everybody at the hospital is telling her, you know, it could come back at any time. Don't get your hopes up, you know, and it's like a little bit of a situation there. So anyway, Abby comes to the event, a live event the next day, and I encourage her, get up on stage and tell people your story. And she's up on stage, and even though she's used to being on stage as a singer, she's not used to being on stage and being real and just being her and being authentic. And it was a real big moment for her, and bless her, she was so amazing and so inspiring and so vulnerable, bless her. And there she is standing at the front of the stage sharing this story. And there happens to be, this story just gets better and better, right? There happens to be this young man in the front row that I'd met at a previous speaking engagement. And I don't know, I was just like, yeah, come along, you know, come along, have a seat, be my VIP, come and sit in the front. He's sitting in the front row, and something happens when he sees Abby. Something that encourages him to go and speak to her later on. And literally within a few months later, these two are absolutely crazy in love. Crazy in love. And so his dreams start coming true. He starts healing with the I Love You Me method as well. His name's Bradley. He started healing from his past relationship traumas and stuff. That's why he'd come to the event. He's got this new love, and these two start going on such an incredible journey of love. So number one, Abby is alive after being told she wouldn't be alive. Two, now something else starts happening where she's in a relationship, and these two are healing their relationship stuff together using the I Love You Me method that they've learned to apply to themselves, and now they're doing it in their relationship. How amazing is that? So already her life has been saved, and now here comes for the deeper soul stuff, right? The stuff that gets into all the cracks, all the gaps, all the sludge that builds up when you have that same karmic pattern happen again and again and again and again in your soul. And here they are now together, which is super beautiful. Who says you have to do self-love alone? They're doing it together in their relationship, and they're saving their own souls. They're healing all this junk that stopped them having this incredible love before. So there they are. And it's not, I'm going to tell you, it's not easy, guys, but this is the power of love. It sees you through everything. So here they are doing their work. And next thing I know, coming up to Christmas, I think this event, the first time I met Abby was in March. So this is like 3 months later, 6 months later. Come December now, Abby's just had her 30th birthday party in the November, and it's like fantastic. She's alive. We get to December, and Abby and Bradley are moving in together. And the next thing I know, Abby gives me this news that her and Bradley are going to have a baby. Like, how amazing is that? She's not supposed to be fertile, remember. She's only got one ovary. She's apparently got no eggs, according to the hospital. She thought she would never, ever have a child, except she did. Abby knew. See, she was being told one thing, and yet she knew something else. And her and Bradley were talking already about the children that they were going to have. And then suddenly she's pregnant. And a little while later, obviously, this beautiful little baby gets born. And I had the privilege of meeting him and holding him, and I call him the miracle baby, and he is absolutely incredible. So miracle number 3, she's alive. They meet, they're in love, she has a baby. Meanwhile, Bradley is healing his illness that he's had as well, and all kinds of stuff. So they're having this beautiful thing. And let me just tell you, the miracles don't stop there. Today I can share with you, saw Abby's post yesterday. And this, you remember I told you that Abby's a singer, and she's a really amazing singer. So go check her out, Abby Flynn. She has been working on albums, and she's been working on her music as well as raising this tiny little boy. And she has signed a record label, and her music is going out there. And it is just like her wildest dreams that she could have never imagined 3.5 years ago when she'd been given 3 weeks to live. Her wildest dreams are coming true. Everything starts to come into alignment for that divine blueprint to be activated. And it's not because Abby and Bradley are working away on it. They're learning how to surrender, how to let go, how to self-heal, self-love, forgive themselves for what's got in the way, like the dust and the gloop and the grease and the gunk that gets all clogged into the mechanism to stop the soul's mechanism from working, to stop your divine mechanism from working. So it's literally a matter of cleaning and making the decision. And this isn't the easy part, guys, either. Sometimes it's the hardest thing in the world just to make that decision and go, yep, you know what? I've stopped suffering enough. And now I'm going to love myself enough and give myself that one fundamental thing that I need, that I've been searching for everywhere and trying to get from everywhere else. And I am actually just going to take a little spoonful at a time, whenever I need it, every day, and love myself that little bit more, and come back to my true alignment, my true potential, my true design. Would you be willing? Would you be willing to love yourself enough to start your own journey, to start your own miracle journey, and save your own life and save your own soul? Because we don't know our own limitations. We can't see all the shadows, and we also don't know our full potential. We might glimpse it, we might see it in our wildest dreams, imagine it. But it's a very different thing living it, being it, breathing it in reality, your real lifetime reality. And that does take a decision. Takes that decision to love yourself enough and to do the very first thing. And you know what the first thing is? Would you like me to share? Let's see how much time have we got. We got enough time. Would you like me to share with you those 7 steps that I shared with Abby and Bradley and gazillions of other people? And it's transformed their lives too. This isn't just a lone story, by the way. This is just one in a huge array of incredible stories from people all around the world who've had miraculous life transformations. So the very first thing that you need to do is learn to receive. And that requires this non-judgment. It requires being in the 0 point, the absolute. And it's very, very simple to do that. I know people can get really up in their head, what does that mean? And we can go off on spiritual spoutings and mental theories and all these wonderful things. But actually, you just need it now. It's like taking a spoonful of medicine and swallowing it. It's that simple. And that simple step, that number 1 step to transformational self-love is receiving your breath. So crazy simple. And it's for that reason that it's so crazy simple, almost insignificant, that it gets missed, gets overlooked. Yet if you are not receiving your breath, my friend, and you're blocking it and you're controlling it, and you're trying to keep a lid on it, because when you control your breath, you control your feelings. And you're trying to control life if you're trying to control your breath, or you're trying to hold it, or you're trying to use it to get some state of being, which is all very well and good. But have you first, before any of that, actually just stopped to receive? Because if you notice this beautiful breath, this very soft, silky touch of the breath, you can feel it on the inside of your mouth when you take a breath. And that simple stroke down the throat. And it feels like a cascading waterfall of softness and kindness and gentleness as it gently enters your body and kisses every single part of you into life. And it's there consistently every single day, every single moment, without judgment. Without you having to say thank you for it, without you having to pray for it, without you having to ask for it, without you having to prove your worthiness of it. Whether you believe in it or don't believe in it, like it or don't like it, it doesn't matter. Because this breath, this unconditional spirit of you, of source, of life, is the unconditional love that you go out there looking for. If you think about that and feel about that for just a moment, that's not love being given to you unconditionally from the very first moment you were born to the very, very last moment that you're going to have on this planet. And it's with you every single moment in between, no matter what. And it never lets you go and it never lets you down, no matter what you think, say, or do. If that's not unconditional love, if that's not the 0 point of judgment or non-judgment, I don't know what is. So if you're looking for a teacher to teach you love, if you're looking for a way to feel connected to yourself and something real, you've got it right here in this breath. Let it kiss you on the lips. Get your thinking, get your blocking that we do here. Just get that out of the way. Soften, surrender, receive like a baby. Like you did when you were very first born. Very first breath you ever took. There, your first nature. Because without that receiving, my friend, without that very first breath being received as it's being given, without you receiving every single day, you would not be here. Receiving is your first nature. Giving, second. Right? Receive first, fill up, give back. Fill yourself. Receive who you are first. Receive this breath. Receive you. Practice that. So whenever you're freaking out, whenever you're struggling, whenever you're in your head and confused and find yourself searching and looking and searching and yearning and aching and trying to grasp onto something to give you some kind of security, to give you some kind of satisfaction or fulfillment, whether it's news, whether it's social media, whether it's friendships, whether it's your relationships, your family, your kids even, your pets, no matter what it is, your work, where you're trying to get that blood out of the stone or the juice out of it, you're trying to get that thing that you need to meet you. Stop. That's not receiving. That's not going to get you what you need. That's not love. Can you see that? It's not serving you, it's not serving them. It's actually pushing everything that you truly want away from you. Learn to receive. To start with your breath. Hello, breath. Thank you for being here, breath. You want to do this with me right now? Thank you for being here right now, breath. And drink it in. Open it up. See if you can let every little part of you just open that bit more to go, no walls, no barriers. Going to put down my arms and put down my weapons and put down my shields. Put down my ifs and my buts, and I know better. Just receive. Say thank you, breath, for being here with me right now. Thank you, breath, my spirit, for breathing me so that I exist. Thank you, breath, for giving to me unconditionally every single day. And receive it. Thank you, breath. That I am alive. And I have this moment right now. And savor that feeling that comes up inside. Hold yourself, listen to the breath. It's full of wisdom. And if you think about it, every living thing on this planet breathes and respires in some way. Everything breathes. And breath has been breathing life into matter for a very, 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 very long time. And right now, this breath, this infinite, incredible spirit of breath is breathing into you. It's giving you this incredible gift of you. You received it on your birthday when you were born, and you can receive it every single day, this birthday present moment, gift of you into this body. Let's come back to that. Stand in that presence. Receive that present. Hello, me. Thank you for being here, me. I love you, me. Well done, me. And you can give yourself a little heart rub. When you notice anything that starts to arise, any disharmony, trauma, discomfort, fear, pain, emotion, whatever it is, sadness that comes bubbling up from deep within when you breathe in this way and you connect to yourself, it might feel like, gosh, where have I been? I've been lost a long time. I've been abandoned. What the heck am I doing here? Feelings like that tend to come up. And that's really normal because you've been disconnected and unplugged, my friend, from where you need to be. And I love you. And I'm sorry. You've been a long time lost. You've been a long time looking for that love, looking for that validation, looking to be seen and heard and empathized with and felt and truly got. You've been looking for someone else to see you in those deepest parts of you, where you really need to be seen. And it's hurt you. And it's been a struggle. And you've felt really alone. And I know it's been hard. I really feel you. I really do. I know this myself. I was there. And I feel you. Because we're all connected. I feel you. And I'm really sorry that you went through all of that. Being abandoned. Being alone. Not knowing where to get that connection from. Where to get that real, genuine love from that you can rely on, that's always going to be there. I am so, so sorry that it took all this time. Maybe it's taken a whole lifetime for you to come back to this moment right now. Feel you. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. It wasn't easy. Please forgive me that you kind of almost want to keep holding on to that pain until somebody else gives you the validation, until somebody really does get it. Maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your father, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's your kids. Somebody, you are wanting them to see your suffering before you will liberate yourself. And if that's you, then you know it's true. If it is, take a breath, right? Because if you stop breathing, that was true for you. Soften. Can you forgive yourself? When you go, I didn't realize I've been waiting for somebody else all this time. Guess what? You can do it for yourself. You can take the shortcut. You don't have to suffer anymore. Not unless you want to. So could you forgive yourself and just say to yourself, I am so sorry, me. I abandoned you, actually. I left you alone. I went off searching. And I was gone a long time. I'm so sorry, me. I didn't know how. Could you say that to yourself right now? And breathe. And let it in. Let those words sink in like raindrops into the soil of where it needs to go to water something very deep inside of you that needs these words. I am sorry, me. Really validate yourself for what you've been through. I see you, me. I feel you, me. Give yourself that sweet, beautiful validation. I'm the one that gets it. I get you. Give yourself a hug. You can hold yourself. And then say to yourself, please forgive me, with all my heart. It's not a head thing, forgiveness. It's a heart thing. It can only come from a humble place. It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. It's just happened. It's just how it was. Can you forgive yourself and free yourself from carrying this burden, this suffering, this torture, this pain? Isn't it about time that you stop suffering? And if it is, just say to yourself, please forgive me, me. I didn't know. I didn't know how. Please forgive me, me. You've been searching alone and lost. Please forgive me, me. You've been carrying this heavy burden for other people's responsibility for so long. Yeah, I feel you. You can let it out. Right? Don't be afraid. If you need to make a noise or a sound, and take that deep breath and really release yourself from what you're holding inside of you that's painful and toxic, making you struggle. You see, you just let everything open. No judgment. Just love. Please forgive me, me. Please forgive me, me. I abandoned you. Please forgive me, me. I didn't know how to get home. Please forgive me, me. I didn't realize I was the one that needed to love you. Say these words with me, or whatever words feel exactly right and true for you. The words that you need to hear. Please forgive me, me. I let you down. Get it off your chest. And breathe all the way deep down into your tummy, not hyperventilating. Stay soft in your bottom, stay soft in your spine. Stay soft in your throat and your jaw. Stay here in this moment right now. I've got you, I love you. That's it, I feel you. Stay with your body, just hold yourself. You ready for the next bit? I love you, me. Simply all that you have to say.
And I love you, Tara. And
I
think
love
you. I forgive me.
Yes.
Yeah. And I forgive you.
Yeah, it's actually a please, because when you say please, it's a humble way of expressing, and it opens the heart. The more humble we are, the more love can come in. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Thank you everyone for joining in. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. We're seeing amazing comments. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your incredible light with our audience.
Oh, total pleasure. And if any of you want to find more, you can get free meditation and find out the book and everything else on my website that you can see just there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There.
We've been sending great comments. Somebody else posted your book from Amazon.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's been a great community affair as well.
Oh, I love my tribe. You're all, mwah, we're a big family, and I love you, me. It's like everyone just falls in love with themselves, and then with each other, it's a big love fest. Self-love evolution.
Yep, sounds kind of amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Tara.
Thank you. Loads of love. Take care.
Bye.